What is going on? Counterfools here with Week 2 predictions. Long video. I've decided to make the Week 2 prediction, like the weekly predictions long, kind of podcast type of things. So your gameplay really doesn't matter. I just put it up anyways if you have nothing else to watch. I actually wish I recorded this whole game because I was down 17-0 and I came back and he did not. I think he scored once, but I wish I recorded this game because I would have done something with it. Actually have a video coming out soon next week, early next week, about an offense to run that have been running, and it worked really good in this game. But this is Week 2 predictions. That's what matters here, not whatever offense I ran in the virtual games, but we're talking about the real games. So last week I was 6-10. A lot of close games that I got right or wrong. Fortunately, the Bills lost in a last-second field goal. A lot of that happened, but I was 6-10. Kind of salvaged it by the, barely. I almost lost. Actually, I am 7-9. I thought I picked the Chargers, so I am 7-9 actually. That is my bad. So, already 1-0 in Week 2. New England winning barely. So 1-0 already. I started 0-1 last week. Maybe this will be the week I go undefeated, which I doubt, because there's a lot of games that could go any way, and so let's get right into it. First game, St. Louis versus Atlanta. This is gonna be a blowout on either side, I would say. Steven Jackson plays against his former team. Atlanta coming off a loss to division rivals Saints on a last-second interception thrown by Matt Ryan, and the Rams coming off a game-winning field goal against the Cardinals, where the new era for the Rams, basically, where they actually had an offensive coordinator for more than 2 years. They had Jared Cook win off. Tavon Austin had a good game. The running game, on the other hand, was kind of iffy, but they're going against the Cardinals. The Cardinals don't have the worst defense in the league. They have a pretty good front seven. So I would expect the running game to pick up for the Rams. I'm going to say the Rams win this game. If the Saints can get a pass rush in that offensive line like they did last week, the Rams can. Robert Quinn is rising up the boards. Chris Long has always been talked about. They have Michael Brockers. They have good defense tackles. They're going to get a pass rush. And then defensively for the Falcons, they're kind of banged up. The rookies did pretty good against the Saints. But I'm worried about them covering Cook Jr. and Tavon Austin. There's a lot of speed on that offense. I don't know how they will handle that because they don't really, I don't know. I want to see how the running game goes. I don't like Atlanta's defense this year. I think they're kind of, they're going to be on and off. And I don't think this is one of the weeks they'll be on. It might end up being the shootout, but I would say I think the Rams defense is better, just because they have that pass rush. So I'm going to go with the St. Louis Rams to win this game. Kind of an upset there. Next game, Cleveland versus Baltimore. Cleveland, kind of everybody was like, oh, Cleveland could make the playoffs this year. And they go against Miami, and they had a lot of the rookie coaches this week kind of made bad decisions. Doug Moreau being one of them, challenging a fumble that we didn't even recover. I don't even know why. But what Rob Chandusky did with Cleveland was Trent Richardson was killing the Dolphins, and then they started stacking people in the box and like, hey, let's just go pass happy. It didn't work. They ended up losing. Rookie mistake on the coach. So that's, both these teams kind of had just weird games. Baltimore was kind of just, doing pretty good against Denver, and then, 7 touchdown passes by Peyton Manning's not going to really help you win a game. They also lost Jacoby Jones for 4 to 6 weeks, so they've lost a kind of a weapon. He really isn't a receiver. He's more of a special teams type of guy. but they don't have Bolden anymore. Pitta's injured. The question is, who's going to be that Bolden Pitta, safeguard for Flacco? I don't know. Dallas Clark got a lot of targets, but he kind of struggled. And Cleveland has a pretty good defense. This is a tough game to predict, but I'm going to go with Baltimore. But just because of Ray Rice and Baltimore's defense, I think overall is a little bit better. The Browns, I don't know. The Browns have the better safeties at the moment, but Baltimore has everything else pretty much. Desmond Bryant kind of showed up for the Browns. The free agent signing, kind of a big game, but everyone else, Joe Hayden. I mean, I'm gonna go with Baltimore just because of Ray Rice. I think the Browns might go away from Trent Richardson again. That's what's scaring me. But this game go anyway, to be honest. Next game, Carolina versus Buffalo. I'm going to pick the Bills. Both teams showed pretty well against top-tier teams. So there might be changes, Might be going ahead to the right direction. But I'm going to take the Bills in this game because I think C.J. Spiller, they will use him correctly this time. Look at this touchdown pass they throw. That's what E.J. should do this week. E.J. looked good. So I'm going to go with the Bills. I think, I don't know, if we can... If C.J. Spiller, if we can use him correctly, we win the game. If we use him like we did last week, we'll lose because the Panthers have a very good front seven, like the Patriots do. And if we decide we just want to keep, C.J.'s a power back, which I don't know why we did that last week, but we need to give him an open space. Give him an open space, we win the game. I'm going to take the Bills. Next game, Minnesota versus Chicago. Minnesota kind of got pooped on. Ponder looks poopy again. Lions, on the other hand, look at the Lions. Chicago, on the other hand, looked pretty good against a pretty top-notch defense in the Bengals. So I'm gonna go with the Bears. Ponder just didn't show it against the Detroit Lions secondary. He didn't really show anything. Throw interceptions, and now he's going against the Bears. Kind of a better defense than the Lions. I think Ponder struggles here. Peterson had like one good run, and then he got some vulture touchdowns. So I think I said in the prediction videos, the preseason ones, that Adrian Peterson can't carry that team, and he really can't do it for the second year in a row because teams will understand. Oh, Ponder's not performing. They're just going to give it to AP and hope for the best. So I think it'll be a tough time for Peterson this week. I'm going to take the Bears. Next game, Washington Redskins versus Green Bay Packers. Washington's defense looked crappy. Their offense looked crappy. They started to get going. RG3 didn't look too comfortable. He started getting into the rhythm and whatnot. But he seems hesitant in certain plays and whatnot, but I think he's a little bit rusty more than scared. So I'm gonna go Green Bay anyways. So I was gonna go Green Bay no matter what. I just think the Redskins are gonna have a down year. I think RG3 coming back from the injury, he's gonna go through some things. He's gonna get hit in the knee one time, but I don't want to. He might get scared or he might not. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see for that. But we saw what the Packers did against what they just kept hitting Kaepernick and whatnot. They will not be afraid to do that to RG3. I would tell you, Clay Matthews, he was hitting people out there, and RG3 better be scared than I would be. So I'm gonna take the Packers win this game. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna shred that secondary of the Redskins, the overrated secondary. They didn't, Redskins struggled against that offensive line of the Eagles, which was one of the worst last year, even though there's injuries. I just think the Packers just won this game. Packers have worse offensive line, but their left tackle kind of held up good against Aldon Smith last week. But we'll have to see. But I think Aaron Rodgers wins this game. I think that offense wins this game. I think RG3 is going to get a little bit more into it. I think he'll have a little bit better of a game. but it's gonna be a long process for him to get back to, if he does get back to RG3 form. So take a Green Bay. Next game we have Tennessee Titans versus Houston. Titans destroyed the Steelers. Houston came back against the Chargers. So the big thing with the Houston is their secondary is overrated. They get killed by elite quarterbacks. Jake Locker's not an elite quarterback. Arian Foster and Ben Tate, there might be a a running back competition by the end of the year, to be honest. They're not going to go away from Arian, but Ben Tate might start stealing more carries every week because they want to get more carries. So that's an interesting thing to look at in this game. Tennessee's defense looked good. Their offense, on the other hand, was kind of iffy. Jake Locker's still struggling. Chris Johnson kind of, behind that offensive line that is potentially, I would say 3 Pro Bowlers. He has to get it going. This week he might. I don't know. It would be a good week since the Texans. But I'm going to go with the Texans. I just feel like Jake Locker's just going to get out game managed by Matt Schaub. Only way I see the Titans win this game is if they do what the Chargers did in the first half, but stay with it, and that's force them to pass the ball. That's how you beat the Texans. Force them to pass the ball, and you pass the ball on them. They are not a pass team on any side of the ball. So, and cover Andre, maybe double cover him so he doesn't get 12 catches again. But I'm gonna go with Houston. Next game, Miami versus Indianapolis. Miami looked pretty good. Mike Wallace had 1 catch. He was kind of pissed off about that. I don't understand why he's getting paid so much money, but I guess it shows that he doesn't really care about the money. So, or he's just selfish. So, Miami's running game was really shitty. I think I don't even know how many total yards there are, but they had like the worst running last week. Indianapolis, on the other hand, almost lost to Oakland. Oakland looked pretty good. More, higher expectations a little bit for me. The way they played that game. A lot of people thought they would just get blown out, but they didn't. Indy lost Vic Ballard for the season in practice. It was announced yesterday, Friday afternoon, I think, that Vic Ballard towards ACL in practice. Ahmad Bradshaw is going to take over. Donald Brown's going to be second. So the running game might improve. It might lack. It's the question. But they have Andrew Luck. Miami, they played Brandon Weeden. I don't want to say they have a good secondary. Brandon Weeden kind of shitty. I'm going to say Indy win this game. I think Indy, it's going to be based on quarterback play, and I think Luck's going to outplay Tannehill. Missing Ballard's kind of got hurt. A lot of people say he's overrated, but he offers a lot. Actually, people don't think he's overrated. People just don't like him. I think he's a good running back. I think he was, good with Andrew Luck. And now that Bradshaw's getting forced in, then Donald Brown's there, that might hurt them. But that offensive line's got to protect Luck. That's the way they have to play Cameron Wake. And they can barely stop Oakland's pass rush. So if they can protect Andrew Luck, they will win the game. But if they can't, they will lose. And I'm banking on that offensive line improving this week against Cameron Wake. Deion Jordan, the second overall. I think it was second. I don't even know what pick he was taken, but he might have a big game here. He might have his breakout game. But I have Indy winning this game just because of luck. I mean, their defense is going to get stomped maybe. Vontae Davis, if he could shut down Mike Wallace, which I think he can. I think this be based on how the offense is operated. If Miami get the running game going, then maybe. But if Indy could just pass the ball like they did last week, they barely passed. They passed like 20 times. They attempted 20 passes. It's I don't know. It could be a lot of games this week could just go any way based on one player. So, but I think Indy wins this game. Next we have Dallas versus Kansas City. Very interesting game in my mind. Dallas looked good against the Giants. They kind of, they early on dominated the Giants. Eli was struggling, but they came back. But Dallas finished the game and won it. Fell asleep during the halftime. It's kind of a boring game in the beginning, but once again, it happened in a Thursday night game, and second half just all the fucking glam. But Dallas still cannot protect Romo. That's going to be a problem. Dallas actually shifted to a run-first offense, which I think will help Romo a little bit. DeMarco Murray looked really, really good in that game. But they need to protect Romo. Romo's already banged up, and we're not even week 2 yet. And he's going against Kansas City, who was 2 elite rushers, Tamba Hali and Justin Houston, who I think had 3 sacks last game against the Jaguars. Jaguars have a better offensive line than the Cowboys. I think Cowboys have one of the worst in the league. There's only one position that really stands out to me and says, okay, he's decent. It's their left tackle, Smith. So nothing like they need to protect Romo to win this game. I'm gonna say Kansas City wins this game because they'll just control the game. They'll run the ball. They'll, stifle a little pass. They'll get a pass rush. I don't know. I just feel like Romo will get hurt this game. That's my general consensus going into this game is Romo will get hurt. I don't want him to, even though I'm not a Romo fan. I never want to see a player get injured, but I feel like that offensive line isn't going to show up. And it's going to really, Romo's already hurt going into the game. They need to protect Romo. And I think ways they could do that is running the ball. Which against Kansas City, I don't know if they really can do that. I don't know. You didn't really see much of it from the Jaguars last week because they were just passing the ball. But I'm going to say Kansas City wins this game. I think they're just going to just completely control defense and offense. And the only way I see Dallas winning this game is if they can protect Romo, and on defense they can be, they can control it. They're not going to let them drive every time. They'll just let them slowly, get drives going and then make a big play. They just need a big play on defense, and that can win them the game. But I think Kansas City wins this game. And Andy Reid's the coach, so he knows how to play Dallas. So next game, San Diego versus Philadelphia. Both Monday night gamers. Kind of surprised the world. Eagles coming out and played dominant on both sides of the ball. A lot of people thought they would struggle on defense, but they kind of shut down RG3 for a while, and then garbage time came, and they got the pat steaded. San Diego came out winning 28-7 against the Texans, and the Texans came back and won. I'm going to go with the Eagles in this game. I just feel like that team is... It's going to take a while for a team to stop them because they're going to be so fast on offense, and their defense looks like they're just going to, be like, whatever, we'll just blitz you. We'll keep blitzing. And San Diego's had terrible offensive line. They looked pretty decent against Texans. Texans without Antonio Smith. J.J. Watt was kind of manhandling DJ Fluker for a while, but he didn't really get the pass rush because they were getting the ball out. But I think the Eagles win this game. I won't be surprised if the Chargers win this game because if they start tearing that defense up, I just don't know. I think San Diego does have an underrated front seven. If they could slow down McCoy a little bit, maybe they have a chance. That running game helped the Eagles a lot on Monday. So I think that could be a factor as the running game for the Eagles. So I'm taking Philly. Next game, Detroit versus Arizona. Another one of those close games. Carson Palmer looked good. Larry Fitzgerald has a good quarterback now. Reggie Bush just went off. I knew Reggie Bush was going to do good with the Lions. Calvin kind of had a quiet game. 5 touchdowns were called back on the Lions last week, which is a lot. I'm going to see Detroit wins this game. I think they'll do the same thing they did Minnesota last week, and that's just... I'll play them and everything. Running the ball, passing the ball, defense. Needless to say, Arizona's a better defense than the Lions. So, not the Lions, but Minnesota. So it might be a closer game, but I think Reggie Bush have another good game. He's kind of banged up from that game, but he's going to tough it through, and I think the Lions win this game. I think they start the season off strong. Their defense, just big plays you got to do. That's all they got to do. But I think the Lions win this game. Next is New Orleans versus Tampa Bay. I'm just gonna go quickly through this game because it's a game I'm not gonna watch. New Orleans is gonna win this game. Josh Freeman is gonna be really shitty. Doug Martin probably have a game because he's playing the Saints. But New Orleans is gonna win this game because the Tampa Bay's offense is shitty and they lost to the Jets. So yeah, you lose to. Oh, that was just a game. But yeah, New Orleans. Next game, Denver versus the Giants, the Manning Bowl. Giants, I don't know. I don't know why I picked them to win the division. I thought they'd be better, but I'm gonna say Denver wins this game. I think there's too many weapons for the Giants defense to cover, and they're already riddled with injuries. So I'm gonna say Denver wins this game. They're just the better overall team. I can't think of anything. I want to see what Denver's pass rush does in this game, though. I think that'll be key. If they struggle against a pass rush against the Giants, they will really get destroyed because Champ Bailey's not playing this game, and Rogers Cromartie plays when he wants. He looked really good in the opener, but he's not a consistent player. But they had to play Nix and Victor Cruz. Victor Cruz had a big game, and then Brandon Myers added, so he's got to check down. But I think Denver wins this game, really. I think they'll control the ball on offense just enough so Eli can't do what he does. So next game, Jacksonville versus Oakland. My God, the great game of the week. It's a 4 o'clock game too, which is surprising. I'm gonna say Jacksonville wins this game. I want to say Oakland, but Chad Henne has had some games with the Jaguars. The Jaguars have more talent, really, to be honest. If Terrell Pryor can play well, then maybe they'll win, but I just don't see him being able to carry that team right now. They have Darren McFadden, they have Darren Harris-Moore, but he's kind of like fell off, and Rod Streeter, who's kind of always a preseason type of guy, but I think Jacksonville wins this game. And then the game of the week, San Francisco versus Seattle. I want to get through this one quick because not everybody talks about it, but I think San Francisco wins this game just because they are the more healthy team. Their off-season acquisitions are playing. Bolden, they drafted a tight end, Vance McDonald, I think is his name. Athletic tight end. Helps them out right away. Eric Reed, Namdi, Glenn Dorsey, all the people they have are playing, while on the other side, Seahawks, Brandon Browner might not play, Cliff Averill might not play, Percy Harvin's out for I don't even know how long. They keep bringing out reports and just it clouds the shit out of it, but I'm gonna say the 49ers. I think they're just based off their offseason acquisitions actually playing, I think San Francisco has the edge here. I think it'll be a close game. But I think it comes down to the 49ers just have the roster right now over the Seahawks. And they're not injured, so I just think San Francisco is more healthy coming to this game. They win the game because they have a couple more players that are going to help them. So, and the last game is Pittsburgh versus the Bengals. Pittsburgh lost Marquise Pouncey. I don't even know if it's Marquise. I don't even know. Their center, the one that plays for the Steelers, the one they lost, he's out for the season. They have no running game. Le'Veon Bell is going to be out another month. Isaac Redman looks shitty. They added Jonathan Dwyer. He looked pretty good in preseason. They lost Stevens Howling for an ACL. They just if they get first pick, just imagine that, or third pick. They could Davidian Clowney. Imagine him on the Steelers. Oh my goodness. That's what I'm thinking of this game. I don't think about the game. I'm thinking if the Steelers keep losing, they might get Clowney on that team. But I have the Bengals win this game. They have one of the best front, D-line. They have the best D-line in the league, actually. And against the Steelers, who just lost their all-pro center, it's not going to work for them. So I think the Bengals win this game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. My information below, Twitter, follow me on Twitter. Next week there's going to be a couple Madden tip videos, and then you got the predictions videos, of course. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time.